It's Monday again.
What? Monday already?
And me and Steve are here at the vault, sitting at the round table, and we're going to talk about the most important thing in the world, comic books.
Woohoo!
Alright, I'm going with the trilogy.
The trilogy.
Yeah. Comics have better trilogies than movies, I find. Right?
For the most part, I agree with you.
I think the original trilogy was like Marvel Comics 7 through 9 from the 40s, the Human Torch versus Submariner. I've never read them. I don't have $100,000 kicking around to buy these comics, but I assume they were pretty good.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's water versus fire.
And you fast forward like 20 years, because I don't think there's a whole lot of trilogies in the 40s and 50s other than that one, right? But I think two trilogies came out around the same time. You had the Galactus trilogy,
Which was fantastic.
FF 4850.
Yeah.
So I never owned, but I had the big Treasury edition, and I thought it was like mind blowing. But I always liked the Impossible Man story they used to fill it up, right?
Well, I always liked the Impossible Man. He was purple.
And they do make a mistake with issue 50. On the cover is like, oh, Johnny Storm goes back to university. It's like it's ending. 49 ends with like, is the world gonna survive? And you're like, well, I guess it will, because Johnny Storm is going back to university. I guess they defeat the Galactus. And then you had the great three-parter Ditko did with the Master Planner and Spotty 31 to 33.
Yes.
And the classic lifting of the
I think there's one of the seminal comic books of all time.
Yeah, they tried to do that in the Spider-Man 2 movie with Tobey Maguire. It was okay, but the comic was like way better. Right?
Well, no, that comic it showed what the medium could do, and Steve Ditko. I don't think there's another example of a comic book far outstripping any type of film or any other medium for that particular thing. It was amazing.
Yeah, no, he did a fantastic job, right? And then you had your classic drug issues in Spider-Man, 96 to 98 with the Green Goblin and Harry on the drugs and stuff.
And of course, as we all know, those comic books were not approved by the Comics Code.
And then the trilogy sort of went away till the 80s, and then early 80s, late 70s, it was DC was doing them, right? You put out all these miniseries like Secrets of the Legion. You're like, well, what are the secrets, right? Untold Tales of Batman. You're like, what are these tales? I got to know. Krypton Chronicles. You're like, whoa, we're actually seeing Krypton. That was, when Superman wasn't even born yet. Like, I got to know. Yeah?
But they were more of their miniseries is more than the trilogies within an established
still three
series.
Yeah.
Now, my favorite, which is the Marvel team up, where you had the original Scarlet Witch.
That's actually
Vision, and then Doctor Doom.
Yeah.
And I tell you, I don't care if I got 20 issues of the exact same one. I had to get it every time I see it. I had to get it. It was an amazing trilogy of Spider-Man. With the Salem witch trials and time travel, and how no matter what happens, you cannot change time, which was established in the early issues of the Fantastic Four.
There's nothing think about it. Spider-Man 17 through 19, that's a trilogy. Remember the Green Goblin? Green Goblin, for some reason, was like this, I always wanted to be a mob boss.
Yeah.
And you had the Enforcers in there, and Sandman, and Spidey loses his powers, and gets him back. And
wasn't the Hulk in there too?
No, he was in.
Or was it 14?
He was just in the issue with the first appearance of Green Goblin.
Yeah,
right?
that one number 14.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that's.
And it got me thinking about other trilogies. I mean, we all know movies. You got your Back to the Future trilogy, which just goes downhill from start to finish. You got the Star Wars trilogy, which, other than the Ewoks, that's pretty solid.
No, it was solid, and considering what they're putting out these days, Ewoks would be the least of worries.
I don't know why they had a second Death Star. Like, and it was like half built and just kind of weird. Like, why don't you just come up with something else, right? like a death cube or something. Like, why does everything have to be round in space?
Well, because I think they already had the plans for the first one.
Yeah, I suppose.
So, I mean, you just had to adjust it a little bit for
How do you
that.
start that, anyways? Like, like
How do you
one
start
beam
anything?
and then another beam, and suddenly you got this Death Star the size of a small moon. Like, I don't know. Seems pretty complicated.
It is, but I mean, remember, he had the Empire with all their
I think a
vast
lot of people
resources.
died too. Wouldn't they? Oh, I fell out the girder. Like, ah,
If we go floating, they can pick you up.
I suppose.
Plus, the Empire are probably not good on the on health and safety.
Yeah, well, yeah, the Air Death Star is what they call it, right? But the trilogy that gets me the most, 'cause I was thinking about it last night, I heard the song. I heard Peter Schilling did Major Tom Comes Back or whatever. So somehow David Bowie wrote 2 songs about Major Tom. There was like, I don't know, Major Tom, and then there was like Ashes to Ashes.
Yeah, and Ashes.
And then 10 years later, this guy's like, "Oh, I gotta finish this trilogy." Like, he created a trilogy that didn't exist. What did Bowie think of it all? Like, was he like, what's happening here?
Wait a minute now. Don't they have copyright to this?
I suppose you can't really copyright the name Major Tom, but like,
No.
like I never heard of Peter Schilling again, and the song was a massive hit. I mean, they kept calling it a trilogy, and then they'd play like all 3 songs and stuff, and it was like, it's fun a lot. I'd like to know what Bowie thought of it all.
Yeah, well, it's unfortunate because unfortunately we lost a good old Bowie,
Yeah,
and maybe somewhere in YouTube or whatever, maybe there are a few comments about it. I'm not sure.
yeah. There was a lot of good trilogies in the 80s, huh? Teen Titans had a great one with Doom Patrol. And the boys they fought. It was the first time I was ever introduced to these characters, the Doom Patrol villains and stuff. It was pretty kick-ass. And they had another one where, remember, Starfire, or Sister Coriander?
Oh yes.
And they're on the planet and all that. And it was a 3-parter, but then it ended with an annual at the end of it, right? My God, was it ever good, huh? And how come Teen Titans Annual #2 isn't worth anything? First appearance of Vigilante.
Yeah.
First appearance of like 6 villains. And it was like a dollar bin book, right?
Shh.
One day
Don't
people
tell
are going to
anyone.
wake up and go, this is one of the most best comics ever written. This is awesome. And somewhere someone's going to go, oh, we should throw these people in a TV show or whatever, huh?
And then it's fortune.
And then it's like $300 book, huh? So keep that in mind. New Teen Titans #2, annual.
Annual #2.
Yeah. You think of any other good trilogies? Oh, Fantastic Four, 242 to 244. Remember when Terex comes down?
Oh yes.
And it's Galactus, and they defeat Galactus, but Reed Richards keeps him alive. Remember,
Yes.
they had to go on trial later and all that stuff. But he knew he had to keep him alive. Galactus was like a cleanser, right? Turned out that Celestials are in the Earth that he eats.
Yeah, there was a celestial egg.
Yeah, and so we have to keep all that in check. Huh?
I wonder if we're going to see the Celestials in the new Eternals movie.
I would think it would be.
We had a brief glimpse of them in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, I believe.
Yeah.
And they looked fantastic. It was only a minute, but it looked phenomenal.
Yeah, I mean, that's the Eternals' whole thing was
Yeah.
Celestials, right? I would imagine it'd be quite big.
I think it'd be fantastic to see them.
Yeah, that'd be cool. What are good trilogies were? I remember Peter Parker, like 73 to 75 or so. It was like another gang war with the Owl and Doc Ock, and Black Cat gets like almost killed.
She gets beat
right?
up on
She's
it,
in the
yeah.
hospital for a while after that. I know they were good comics, but
Well,
good
Peter
stories.
Parker's Spectacular Spider-Man was amazing. I mean,
Oh, it was so good for a while.
I mean, remember he had the Jean DeWolf,
Yeah.
the death of Jean. That was amazing as well.
Yeah, no, they were good stuff. I always found it weird that they put out a 6-part Craven's Last Hunt, which was really good.
Yeah.
And then right after they have like Peter Parker in like a mental hospital or something. It was a 3-parter, ran over the 3 titles.
Really?
Yeah.
I can't remember that.
It was like right after. It wasn't very good.
Well, you mean how you follow up from the Craven's Last Hunt?
Yeah, and Batman had a 3-parter. The Many Deaths of Batman, right
Yes, I
after Death
remember
in the
that.
Family.
Yeah.
Yeah, John Byrne wrote it, and yeah, it wasn't that good either. So not every trilogy is a good trilogy.
No.
But they're out there, though. They're out there.
They're out there.
All right, well, that should clue it up for another week at the Vault. Keep reading comics. See you at 12.
Thank you, and good night.
All right, see you guys.